important political personality who has also developed in terms of ideas and planning these important corridors when he was a minister, and we would kindly ask him to react shortly on what has been presented.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to share some thoughts. First, I want to congratulate the government that it made progress on these projects, very tangible progress. Because I remember back in 2021, when we put that in our campaign manifesto, and then in 2022, when we started implementing it, everybody thought we were crazy. People were laughing at us for the 5 bridges of the Danube. People said that Alexandroupoli, Russia, and then Romania is a dream that will never happen. And here we are several years later, and we already have construction on some of those. We have detailed agreements on a good chunk of that. And in terms of economic impact to Bulgaria, Romania, and Greece, I don't think that this project can be overstated. This is literally redrawing the trade map, which has been the same since Roman times. Since Roman times, we've had Thessaloniki and we've had Constantinople, Istanbul now, as the 2 main ports where all trade flow. Now, what's happening with these corridors, we open up the northern Greek ports of Kavala and Alexandroupoli, which is faster, gives us access without having to go through the Bosphorus, all trade that comes from Bulgaria, gives an alternative access into Europe, which is through EU territory, because before we only had the Via Militaris, which goes through Serbia and Bosnia-Herzegovina. And last but not least, it connects southern and northern Bulgaria, which right now has only one decent connection, and that's Sofia. So if you want to go from Russia to Plovdiv, the easiest way is actually to go all the way down to Sofia, which is not something good. And the routes are pretty clear. We have Alexandroupolis, Makaza, Pass of the Republic, and then on Veliko Tvrdovo, Russe on the middle corridor. We have Svilengrad, and then again, most likely, I would imagine, for Silistra will be the connects. Yeah. And having rail connectivity is good not only for passengers, completely changes the map for exporting and importing goods, and essentially creates the alternative of Rotterdam. And also, in terms of passengers, having the motorways with load-bearing capacity that's good for military mobility is also pretty important. So I would say that it took about 3 years to get the politics, 4 years to get the politics done, which is pretty fast by Balkan standards. So now the question is to actually get the infrastructure built. And that has 2 aspects to it. One is funding it. And Bulgaria has the ability to fund. Greece and Romania were more limited in that respect. But they think that there are several options for funding it. One is green funds, which is the slow way. The other one is to open it up as a concession and get it built as an international concession project. And given the amount of traffic, that's going to be easy to do concession. That's the faster way to get it done. But one way or another, we need to make sure these get built and they don't get delayed by, let's say, political or quasi-political actors. We know that the ICGP took 13 years to build. Not because building 150 kilometers of pipe takes 13 years, because there were ferrets and flowers and lawsuits and let's say general unwillingness to push through with the project and push through political obstacles. So from that perspective, we need to make sure that the political will is there and the projects get built fast and perfectly fast. The other part I think that is important is to make sure that the infrastructure that these projects will connect is also built to be able to support the traffic that's going to come. And here we talk specifically about Alexandroupolis and Kavala. which are two relatively small ports today, but when those projects get built, those ports will need to be substantially upgraded in order to handle all the traffic. Maybe one last thing to mention related to that is that building bits and pieces of those projects in and of itself can help alleviate bottlenecks within the countries. So I would say the best approach there is whatever's ready, we start getting it built, and while we're still working on permitting and putting in place the rest of the projects. And I think that's going to give a great opportunity for northern Bulgaria to get connected to the main trade flows, which have been passing through southern Bulgaria just by the virtue of the existing networks, and to get economic development much faster, much better. You can imagine what it would mean for Veliko Turnov to Stara Zagora to be half an hour, 40-minute drive. For business, not only for people. And I think that's going to be a major overhaul of life on the Balkans as we know.